Yes. We're gonna put this here. No, we're gonna have to put it over here. Alright. So, this is kind of where my mind's at right now. What inspired me to do this video, which is pointless, I would imagine, but... And that is, I called my buddy last night, right? I was like, hey, what's going on? The first thing he says is, oh, I'm just sitting here watching Trump hate videos. And anyways, and I just pulled up, I had to wake up early and go fucking run some errand real fast. And I just got back, and as I was pulling in, I was thinking about that, you know. Because, well, first of all, I don't understand the Trump hate at all. I really don't get it at all. I don't understand it. And I try to be understanding. And, and so then I started thinking about this other buddy of mine. I haven't known him very long, but he does videos, and started thinking about his videos, and you know, where he doesn't come out and say that he hates Trump, but you could tell, like, you can tell, you know. And so I'm like thinking about all this, and I'm wondering why, like, what is, and so maybe this is just an attempt to kind of like process this stuff in real time, because I've never understood the hate for Trump. You know, I to a degree I have. There was a documentary. There was a documentary that came out fucking shit, man, maybe 15 years ago, called You've Been Trumped. And it was a pretty good documentary about how Trump fucked some people over pretty good. And it was pretty fucked up, right? But you know, in my eyes, he's since redeemed himself. I mean, you know, these big tycoons and shit, they make mistakes. They're human beings like anybody else. These big business tycoons, or whatever you call them, you know, they're not perfect people, you know. And they abuse their power. Anybody does. Riches breeds corruption. So if you were born with a silver fucking spoon in your fucking mouth, you're gonna be a fucking cunt. I personally feel lucky that I wasn't born with a spoon in my mouth, because I'm not a cunt. Riches breeds corruption. That's it. That doesn't mean that all rich people are evil or bad or whatever. Well, let's not go there. Let's just leave it at this. I love humankind. It's people I can't stand. So, you know, you can point out how evil somebody like Bill Gates is, but, you know, there's people that are nobodies, no names, nobodies, that are just as bad as Trump or Bill Gates or any of these people that are in the limelight, you know. And they never get any publicity for how evil and fucked up they are. And they're poor and working class and middle class and every other type of person other than a rich person, you know. So I love humankind. It's people I can't stand. People just suck. Get over it, you know. I know it's easy to say, easier said than done, but yes, people fucking suck, bro. So anyway, but I really don't get all this Trump hate. I really don't. You know, and what it appears to me, first of all, you've got this massive apolitical movement, which is not apolitical. That's a lie. It's this so-called apolitical movement is political, and that's what the majority of these people that think they're apolitical, they that are jumping on this apolitical bandwagon are clueless that that's a political movement. It's a political, ploy that is advantageous to one particular political group right now in today's political climate. And so all these apolitical people say, "Oh fuck, I don't want to hear this politics." But they're the ones that are always all over the place in all the comment sections telling everybody how stupid they are if they vote and all this and that. And that's a political stance. And the majority of these people, they're so ignorant, they don't even know that is political. What they're saying is fucking 100% political. It's just as political as pushing a conservative viewpoint or a liberal viewpoint. And really, the apolitical stance is a stereotypical liberal stance, being apolitical. But really, there is no apolitical, especially now. Like, everything is politics. And so you got all this Trump hate, right? And then you got all these people that don't hate Trump. And so one of the things that I noticed off the bat is hate is not the answer. So if there's two paths and one of them is hate Trump and the other one is don't hate Trump, well, I'm going to take the don't hate Trump path. If one of them is hate and the other one is don't hate, well, I'm going to take I'm going to try to choose the path that resists hate. And so you got all these people that hate Trump. It's like, I honestly don't get it. Like, if I really don't. So anyway, so my buddy's like, "Oh, I hate Trump." You know, it's like, "Oh, I'm just laugh." Like, okay, whatever, man. I don't know, whatever. And my buddy already knows where I stand, you know, on all this. But he still has got to tell me, "Oh man, I hate Trump so much." It's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that, you know, a lot." And so there's that. But what was I going to say? So whatever. It's just pure ridiculousness, you know, all this, "I hate Trump." Everybody walking around with their badges, "I hate Trump" badges on, proudly peacocking all over the place. and spewing all their righteous indignation everywhere, you know. It's like, whatever, man. And then, so here's what I do kind of understand. This is where some of this apolitical and anti-Trump shit comes from, in my opinion, my prideful opinion. Because, so like YouTube, I discovered YouTube at the tail end of YouTube before YouTube went to shit, okay? And it was amazing. Like, I was like, "Oh my, how is it that I never," but I don't like social media. So I never saw any hope in YouTube. Like, I didn't think YouTube would, like, YouTube's stupid outside of just like watching Slayer videos and Megadeth videos or something like that. Like, I don't care about YouTube. I didn't know there was all this amazing shit on YouTube until about a year before YouTube went down the shitter. And I fucking like binge watched a ton of YouTube. I was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe that. There's so much great shit on YouTube." Then after about a year, you know, YouTube took a shit, massive shit. And what I noticed was, which I'm sure everyone else did too, is that politics took over everything by design. It wasn't. It was as like Styx Hexenhammer likes to say. It was astroturfed. It was astroturfed that YouTube got completely taken over by politics. And so all these great discussions all got fucking just like demolished by politics. And politics was promoted with money and all kinds of shit, you know. And that's what ruined YouTube. That was like one of the biggest things that ruined YouTube. And so all you had left was a bunch of sellout channels that were talking about politics, because politics was the astroturfed trend. And that's one of the biggest things, that the top 2 or 3 things that ruined YouTube. Sorry if I said bitch shit. I'm used to well, whatever. Anyway. And so as a result, you've got all these people that are really resentful about it. And so because politics have ruined so much good stuff, that is what is perceived. It was really astroturfed, but you know, it was all staged, theatrics. It was all planned. It was you know, false flag, whatever you want to call it, that destroyed like so much of the public square of discussion. And so all these people like built up these massive resentments and blamed it on politics, where it's like it's the fault of politics. And so now there's the whole mobs of them that you know, swarm around all these different social media sites, you know, and they're all like really fucking pissed off about politics. And so all they do is tell everybody how stupid they are for believing in politics and stuff. That's all they do now, you know. Because they're all pissed off. They all have resentment that politics took over all the discussion on you know, whatever, you name it, flat earth, reptilians, UFOs, you know, whatever it is, whatever you like, it's all been taken over by politics. And so everybody that, you know, it's not really the fault of politics, because it was astroturfed. It was designed this way. But to say that politics is this and that, like these people make these blanket like ignorant statements about how politics is this or that, and it's that politics isn't important. I think that's what the whole goal is. Like they've used politics. They've gotten people so pissed off and disgusted with politics to sway the public's opinion on politics, to basically view it as that you know, politics is bad. Politics is bad. Yeah. So that people will stop paying attention to politics. You know? Like, you know, all this shit with presidential elections and politicians and all this stuff. To say that none of that matters is bullshit. So anyways, but yeah, like, you know, the hellscape of the internet is constantly like changing. You know, in a month it completely changes depending on what's going on, you know, I suppose. But yeah, and it's true though. You got all these sellouts that have just jumped on the politics wagon for clickbait and all this other stuff. You know, it's just turned into a massive shit show. The whole thing. And the only people that are left, even the most credible like channels, whether they're on YouTube or BitChute or Rumble, they're all sellouts. The most credible like sources, you know, that you could see, because they censor everything. They censor everything so that all you have access to are all these sellout channels. Just like on television, it's the same. But anyways, I've had these discussions many, many, many times. So whatever.